my boy.
We back.
We back again. Hold on. Let me get right.
For sure.
I should have did this before the episode. All right. You can hear me? We good?
Facts. We cool.
Bet. Let's do it. I think we live on Instagram. Let's check. We got one viewer in the chat already, man. Let me know who you are. Drop us a
Live
like.
on IG.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so look, go to your personal page and watch the live on the GRG. I'm gonna go to the GRG and watch the live on my Instagram.
Too bad.
Here we go. Yeah. All right, bet. It's been a week, man.
I know.
How you living?
You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's ain't nothing to ever complain about because who really listening? You feel me? But all in all, life
about because
cool,
who listening is crazy.
How we living though?
You know, man. Football season. Our football season is over. D Fox, what up, boy? Our football season is over, man. We didn't make the playoffs. It was sick. We went 8-1 though. It's sick. We went 8-1 and we didn't make the playoffs, bro.
It's points, right?
Nah, it's that damn buddy system they do in the college football. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They voted in some teams that they thought were better. You know what I'm saying? But
they hating.
They hating. Nah, they was for sure hating, bro. They was for sure hating. But it's good. It's good. Man. You wanna start? You
hit me, bro. Hit me with anything, bro. Let's get into it.
Sunday night. We'll start with you since it was Sunday night, and then we'll go to me. This is Monday night. Sunday night, your Commanders, man, they took for lack of better terms, an ass whooping. Yeah. For lack of better terms, they took an ass whooping on Sunday night. What happened, man?
Shit, the same problems that's been going on all year. Injuries, no continuity on the offensive side of the ball. What also hurt is that the offensive line is actually healthy. Did not matter. Seahawks pressured Daniels on 51% of his dropbacks. That is an insane rate. Nobody can play quarterback that way. He getting too much pressure. Don't trust the receivers. The only person he trusts is himself. So what he gonna do? Run. He ran, and what happened? Broke his elbow. Probably shouldn't have been in the game to begin with, but I ain't gonna dive into that. Eric, to each his own. He a contract player. They getting paid to play. You can call it how you want it, but when somebody's your franchise quarterback, and it's a 30-point blowout in a game, you know, everybody knows there's not a doubt in the world that we can come back or that we could have came back. Everybody knows that game was over. I know it. You know it. The millions of people at home was watching that game knew it. Everybody in the stadium knew it. Apparently, except Dan Quinn. You want to get into that? But my fans got a problem with that, or not my fans, the Commanders fans got a problem with that. I can agree with that. Our franchise guy in there, no business being in there. It is what it is now. On the back half, I already talked about Daniels. Our season's cooked. Get well soon, my boy. I'm on a basketball now, and it's crazy. That season cooked already too. I ain't gonna talk about that, but yeah. And then on the flip side of things, the defense, they're the worst defense in the league. There's not.
No, they're not. No, they are not.
They're worse than y'all.
They are not.
They're worse than the Bengals. Did you see what Sam Darnold was out there doing, my dog? He was perfect at halftime.
Nigga, my fault, bro. Jacoby Brissett diced us up. Jacoby Brissett looked like Patrick Mahomes out there on Monday night.
I feel you. I really do.
Not have the worst defense in the league. We easily have the worst defense in the league.
Y'all beat us by 20, bro. Your defense ain't looked that bad against us. That's all I know. And I know, you know, weapons, nobody playing, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, we couldn't do nothing. And every week, somebody plays the Commanders. It's It's burnt cheese, chopped cheese, call it what you want to call it. Them boys out there licking their chops. They see Washington on the schedule. That bitch circled already. They over there manifesting 200 yards, 300 yards. I'd be like, we can't do nothing. But what make it worse, honestly, we can't play man. We can't play zone. We can't rush the passer. We can't tackle. Like, I can't, bro. On a professional NFL team, I feel like you got to be able to do one thing good. You can be bad at a million different things, though. There's no way that a whole bunch of professional athletes and coaches on that level cannot find out one thing we're good at. And right now, they don't have one. I'm appalled.
Look, man. As bad as it was, is it time to put some respect on Sam Darnold's name?
Oh, for sure. You know, we had a conversation in the beginning. Well, we had the conversation, was he legit?
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say right now, the boy is definitely legit. And I can't, after we did us, I can't say he not. I can't say he not. I respect it though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people counted him out, bounced around. He got his opportunity last year, showed out. The Vikings might have made a mistake letting him walk. Now he in Seattle balling out.
Okay. My boy D Fox said tank for Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, I'm not an advocate for tanking. I can't in good faith tell a whole bunch of men getting paid to be like, go out there and lose. No matter what happens, they plan to win. I hope they lose. But I'm not hoping maybe, you know what I'm saying? It's a tricky water. However, if we find ourselves in the position, hopefully, to pick top 5. Wait, Smith's he a sophomore, ain't he?
Yes.
We're not gonna be able to get him. See, we taking this bad year and we got to reset the button. We need to go ahead. We ain't gonna be able to get Smith. But the boy from Arizona State.
Yeah.
He a dog. Now, I can deal with that. We need another receiver. Terry McLaurin, I love you. You 30. You finna be 31. I ain't gonna put the injury history on you because at the end of the day.
So considering that, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked you last week. Are you still happy and comfortable with Terry's contract?
For sure. It's an incentive-based contract to begin with. So like if anybody getting hurt, it's Terry McLaurin because he's not playing. He got some quarters to meet on that contract, and he got to be on the field to do it. All in all, though, he earned the money. I'm not gonna complain about it. We watched him in that Chiefs game. That 3/4 of Terry McLaurin was the best wide receiver play we done had in 9 weeks. You could clearly see why he got the money. I'm not tripping about that. Injuries are unfortunate. Had he not held out of training camp, will he be hurt right now? Who's to say? I can't tell you yes. I can't tell you no. It's just unfortunate this year, but we really do need a wide receiver too. I ain't even posted a video yet, but if our 34-year-old tight end is our best weapon when our start receivers out, we have a issue, and it's a very bad one. So at the end of the day, they can get a receiver in the draft. They can't get one of the good receivers. I'm not mad at it. That defense do need help though, so they're in a little predicament, and also they need draft capital. We traded away some for Debo. We traded away some for Larry Tunsil. They're in a pretty different predicament, but they do have some money, so you can fill some holes in the offseason with that if they're gonna spend it, because he ain't spent it last year. So I don't know what the issue is about that, but we're gonna see. There's go
ahead.
Some hope there.
Speaking of spending money, speaking of capital, speaking of all of these things, you sent me a text yesterday. You said AP must be asleep. Where were y'all during the trade deadline?
I would like to know the same thing. I seen somebody say that Debo and Von Miller to the Bills was kind of in play. I don't know what happened there, but for real, I see both sides of it. I really think it depends on how they view the team when they're healthy. I really think it depends. We're gonna draw conclusions, short term opinions about the season because that's what we do. Like you only good as your last game. So whatever you put out there, that's what we're gonna talk about. But they did go 12-5 last year and reach the NFC Championship game. So it's a whole different year now. But people can argue that you weren't healthy to ever really get in a rhythm. Maybe they have to look and decide how many of those players on the team right now they believe are real good players. And then we can see what they're going to do. They didn't want to trade anybody. I don't really think too many players on the team that's healthy has any real value outside of like Daron Payne. He probably could have got moved. But it's like, what are you going to move him for? Are you taking anything less than a third round pick? I don't know. I don't know what was if I want to move him, I need what I need back. Because I don't know if they're trying to move him for a fourth or a fifth. Then it's like the other, outside of that, it's like anybody else in the team, Mike can move one of the young corners like Mikey, but he's been struggling. So what does his value look like this year right now? Marshawn's a vet. You might have could have moved him for a late round pick, but he tore his ACL. I said might. Outside of that, we really don't have any value to trade unless you're trying to trade like your best players. McLaurin, why would we do that? I mean, if you desperately need the capital, I guess, but I wouldn't. You clearly understand why he's on the team. You saw it when he played the Chiefs. Jaden Daniels. Ain't nobody trading Jaden Daniels, so we can already scratch that out the water. Who are we trading? So, like, I see both sides. And it's not like we can make moves. It's no fun in making moves like y'all did because we know our season cooked. Like, Jerry probably playing for the future. Y'all shit can look, y'all season a little bit cooked too, but y'all have more of a chance to do something than we do.
Nah, bro, I'll tell you, this isn't what the Cowboys did in getting Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson was not about this season. There's a 4-year window that the Cowboys are trying to maximize. We got Dak on contract for 4 more years, CD's on contract for 4 more years, Shotty's on contract for 4 more years. So we have here you go. Here we go. How about them Eagles? I can't deal with this tonight. I can't. No. We're skipping right over that. Tired of hearing about the Cowboys. I'm sure you are. I don't care. I don't care what you're tired of hearing about. We're going to talk about these Cowboys. Anyways, we're on a 4-year window. So this isn't about just this season. Like, clearly we probably won't make the playoffs this year, but we do have a 4-year window that we're trying to maximize. And so Quinnen Williams was not, you know what I'm saying? That's not for just this season. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that he's still under contract for the next 2 years. And we got plenty of cap space. We have plenty of cap space. So we will be okay. Everybody's like, oh, you're not going to be able to pay all of them players. You're not going to be able to bring back Javonte and GP. Yes, we will. We will definitely be able to bring back Javonte and GP with the cap space that we have. There's probably some other people that we're going to get rid of in the offseason that we're going to get off of the books. We'll be able to get to. But while my boy Jay Flood is here, who's a Division I football player, so we'll speak about your Eagles for a couple minutes while you're here. You're probably busy and you got to leave in a second, hopefully, so that way I don't have to talk about the Eagles for a long time. What do you think about the Jaelan Phillips trade? He's obviously only under contract for 1 more year, or not 1 more year. He's under contract for the rest of the season. What did you think about that? Yeah.
Teams trying to win the ball make moves. And that's what the Eagles do. They make moves. Howie knows they're in their window to maximize all the talent they have to win as many Super Bowls as they can. So I'm not surprised at it. They felt like they were lacking in pass rush when I got one. I was advocating for my team to trade for him. They had 3 on the roster: Bradley Chubb, Jaden Phillips, and Matt Judon, all on the Dolphins roster. All of them can rush the passer. Can't even talk right now.
Passer.
There we go. Rush the passer to some degree. So it's like, I understand why they did it. And a 3rd round pick, I feel like is good value. Will they be able to sign them? Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if you want to stay. Like, you get a Nat coacher, winning football games, good enough vibes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too crazy. So I ain't mad at it. They trying to do what they can. And like I said, the only thing I think that's going to hold them back to trying to repeat is that offensive coordinator. They don't have to figure that out, but they right where they want to be right now.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Jalen Phillips was a great pickup for them. He's actually, while my boy Jackson is in the chat, Jackson said, you hit me and said that you didn't think that Jalen Phillips was a good player. I think that's still to be determined. There's a lot of decent players on bad teams, and I think he was one of those. Obviously, the stats didn't stack up the way that like everybody would have thought or would have liked, but I do believe that Jalen Phillips was a good player. I think he's a good pickup. He is under his contract does end, but Howie Roseman is going to find a way to re-sign that man for a bag of potatoes, some chips, some Cracker Jacks, some
winning talks.
Yeah, winning talks, bro. Like y'all, they will Phillips is a part-time football player. They will re-sign him, and he will be on that Eagles roster next season.
I don't think they're looking for bro to be a full-time player. They just need somebody to rush the passer.
Yeah, they just need somebody to do that. Passer a couple days.
Earn his money.
One day a week, he just got to rush. He got to rush the passer. That'll be all right. Where's the Drake May content? MVP candidate Drake May has been playing very good. Ty, get out of here. We're not hearing from you tonight. Send the bets. You ain't send no locks today. I'm not hearing nothing from you until you send a lock. You got that new iPhone and didn't even use it. Drake May, MVP candidate, is playing very, very good football. I don't know what else to say about him. I'm not. I can't. I don't know, bro. I don't know. He's playing very good, and I tried to hold out. I tried to act like it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I tried to act like it wasn't what it was, but again, they went out there and beat the Falcons, who I don't think are a very good team. But he went out there 19 for 29, 2 TDs, 1 interception, 260 yards. You can't ask for much more from your quarterback. And I will admit he is doing it with not the greatest supporting cast, but I do believe that supporting cast,
good enough.
Yeah, I was about to say, I do believe that supporting cast is better than what people try to make them out to be. Listen, DeMar, I know, I understand how good a quarterback has to be. Yeah, Ty, he's not doing his job. Yeah, DeMario Douglas went out there and had 100 yards. Hunter Henry had 51. Stephon had 38. Travion,
Stephon Diggs. So.
Still Stephon Diggs. Travion had 32. I think Keyshawn Boot got hurt early, but I do believe that supporting cast is much better than what people try to make it out to be. I know it doesn't look the greatest on paper, but when you go and watch them play, they are playing very good football around Drake May. And I think we all knew Mike Vrabel being that head coach. I think everybody that knew Mike Vrabel or that was familiar with Mike Vrabel's game, I think everybody that knew him knew that they would be a decent football team.
Family well coached for sure.
For sure. If Pats wins Sunday, he's got to be number 1 in the race. Who do y'all play on Sunday? Y'all play.
They had a cupcake schedule.
They play the Bucks. I don't know if that makes you number 1 in the race. I don't know if beating the Bucks at this point makes you number 1 in the race. A couple weeks ago for sure, but who's playing for the Bucks right now? Is everybody back healthy? Like, I don't think nobody's healthy for them at the moment. But they are still a very good team. They're 6-2 as well. They're 6-2. So I'll give it to you. I mean, they just beat the Saints, but they lost to the Lions. Like, I don't know. They did beat the Seahawks though, 38-35. Y'all didn't beat the Seahawks. It's tough. It's tough.
Anyway,
If Drake May goes out and beats Tampa Bay this week, is he number one in the MVP race?
I don't know about number one, but he top 3.
Yeah, I'll give him top 3. Top 3 for sure.
It's a quarterback award. I wouldn't say he probably the most valuable player if he does win, but because other position players can't win, I mean, he in a race for sure. But like I say, we still got several weeks remaining. Let me see what he continues to do. But like I say, you give credit where it's due. They winning football games. He's playing real well. Like you say, you can't ask for a quarterback to do any much more than what he's doing right now. So respect to him. Like the quarterback class, I think, you know what I'm saying, it's going to go down as a real good one. So we'll be interested to see which one really takes the I'm the best one out the class. But I guess you could argue May, the way he's playing currently, has him top of the class, although I don't think he's better than Jaden Daniels just yet. But, you know.
Yeah, Jax made a really good point. He said, man, Drake's going to have to sweep Buffalo to win the MVP. It's a nasty world we live in. You're not wrong, but you're not wrong because of the schedule y'all play. Like, y'all got the Bucks, and then y'all got the Jets, the Bengals, and the Giants before you play the Bills. So not only will he have to, what about Bo Nix for MVP? No, coach, no. The reason that Drake will have to sweep Buffalo is because of the schedule y'all are playing, Jax. Like if you if you go out and beat the Bucks, that'll be a really good one. But then you got the Jets, the Bengals, and the Giants. If he stinks the bed in one of those, he can all but guarantee that his MVP race is cooked. You gotta go and beat all 3 of them before you get to the Bills. And then you got the Ravens after that. You need to win both of those games. And he has to play well in both of those games. I wouldn't lie to you. What about Bo Nix? Here's my problem with Bo Nix. If you're Bo Nix, you went out and you beat the Cowboys in very convincing fashion. You played a really good game against the Cowboys. And while you're on this win streak, these wins have not looked pretty. Not pretty enough for you to be an MVP candidate. Like he's played well enough for his team to win, but not well enough to be an MVP candidate. I mean, y'all beat the Texans. Y'all only won 18-15. He only had 173 yards, but he did have 2 touchdowns. But his QBR was a 53.6. I don't think. Yeah. I could play quarterback for that Broncos team. Yeah, I don't think that that's going to cut it. I don't think Bo will be in the MVP conversation, but he's winning nonetheless. So I guess that's good. Ty, what do you think about Bo Nix?
I would say,
from that draft.
I think Bo Nix, he does what he needs to do for the Broncos football team. Like he's in the best situation. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely in the best situation out of that draft.
Defensive wise, the Broncos are way like levels ahead of any other rookie quarterback. If we're in terms of looking at it like that, or like even in the MVP race for the ones besides probably Sam Darnold, I'll say in a race, the Seahawks defense pretty good too. But like in comparison to Drake May, you know what I'm saying? I think the Broncos defense is better. In comparison to us, we automatically know who defense is better. So it's like he's been set up to succeed since day one, which is good on the organization helping out their young quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to do too much. I do think I'm not mad at their weapons. I do think they could get an elite receiver. But I think Courtland Sutton is good. I don't know if he's elite. So I think in terms of that, if they can find him somebody like, well, you can't find like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, but if you can find a young receiver who has star potential, we can talk about Bo Nix. But like I said, he does what he needs to do. He don't really be trying to turn the ball over too much. He got a good system. You got a good play caller in Sean Payton. No matter what, we know he can call offense. So Bo Nix is doing what he needs to do. I just don't think he's gonna do enough, probably ever, to win an MVP. But that's no fault of his own. A lot of good players don't win MVP. Only one person get it. So, like you say, as long as he win, he's gonna have a long career.
So I was wrong. The question was, can he be the best QB in that draft class?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not in a class where Jaden Daniels and Drake May reside. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. And I think the other two are far more talented. I think Bo Nix was just lucky enough to land in a situation with probably a better coach than the other two. I mean, just the legend of Sean Payton is already a better coach than Mike Vrabel and Dan Quinn, and that's no disrespect to either one of them, because I think both Dan Quinn and Mike Vrabel are good coaches. But there's just no way he finds himself at the top of that draft class as the best QB. Now he may because of the situation go down as the best winner in that draft class. Again, because of the situation, but best QB in that draft class, I don't know about that. He may win the most though. He definitely may win the most, and he will probably win the earliest. But I also don't think that he was. I think he was drafted into a situation where the last piece that they needed was a good quarterback, and I don't think that was the case for
the other two.
Yeah, I don't think that was the case for Drake May or Jaden Daniels.
For sure.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat, man, like up, say what's up, send your questions, send your thoughts, let us know what y'all want to hear about. Yeah, man, ask your questions, all that. We had one from YouTube. Dwayne, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Hope everything going well. You know Dwayne, that's your boy?
Nah, I have no idea.
All right, well, Dwayne, thank you for pulling up, bro. Share.
Nice to meet you now, my boy.
Yeah. Dwayne, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Send it to everybody you know, man. Let everybody know we going up. Like, follow, share, subscribe, all of those good things, man. Let's finish with the NFL slate from this past week, so we can move on from NFL. Carolina beats Green Bay. Is Carolina respectable, or are they just party?
I think that game's more of an indictment on Green Bay than it is Carolina. No disrespect to Carolina though. Like, I think it's probably the best they looked in a few years, and a lot of it has to do with the emergence of Rico Dowdle. A lot of it has to do with that, but I think drafting Tet was real helpful to Bryce. Bryce still getting better. He's still making his mistakes, but he's also doing what you need him to do to be successful. And Canales, being a good OC as he is, he also knows how to help out Bryce when he is struggling, like in that Packers game. He didn't play all that great, but when you can
yards and an interception, no touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. So when you got Rico Dowdle and we can kind of scheme up things to make it easier on our quarterback, and we can lean on that run game. But on the flip side of that, Green Bay has a problem to playing to whoever their competition is. So they're too inconsistent. Like, in the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, best 2-0 team. The first 2 weeks is great. They haven't looked nowhere near the team we saw in the beginning of the year. And that doesn't make them less of a good team, but it's like we can't rely on teams like that. I don't know which Green Bay Packers is going to suit up week in into week out. And they probably make the playoffs, but it's like, I don't think you can win, or we don't think you're a true competitor to win a Super Bowl when I can't even know what kind of team I'm going to get. Lost to the Panthers, tied with y'all, and I'm not saying at the time it probably wasn't that bad, but like the more we see how bad y'all defense are, it's like, how bad are y'all defense to let Dak in them? But it's like y'all do have a good offense. Not to say
our offense is elite.
So y'all have a good offense, but I'm just saying the Packers need to figure out their best football fast. But like I say, I think that's more on the Packers being an inconsistent team than is the Panthers being a good team. But I think they are respectable. I don't think you look at the Panthers no more and be like, this is a cupcake game. We got this in the bag or whatever. I think you got to play your best football when Carolina come. And I think that's a huge upgrade from what we've seen.
Yeah. A few things. I think that Green Bay defense is still really good. Here's the thing. When you lose how Green Bay did, when you lose 16-13, that's not an indictment on your defense. I'll tell you, they did give up 40 to the Cowboys, but I think the Cardinals put out a blueprint for really the best way to beat the Cowboys right now. You don't even allow our offense to get on the field. The Cardinals held. We got the ball first. They held the ball. We had a 4-and-out or whatever. And then they held the ball till it was 2-3 minutes left in the first quarter. We had 2 possessions in the first quarter. So I think the Cardinals. And the reason I'm saying all of that is because when you score fast against the Cowboys, you give the Cowboys enough time to get in rhythm and to stay in rhythm and allow the Cowboys to play with you, which is why I think Green Bay went wrong. Because if they'd have just ran the ball all game, we'd have lost by 40. Like, if you think about the 2 really craziest offensive games we've seen from the Cowboys, it was the Giants game and the Green Bay game. In both of those games, both of those teams tried to score fast and just outpace us. And I don't think that's the way to beat the Cowboys right now. That is a totally different team from the team that we saw playing against the Panthers on Sunday, where you only put up 13 points. Putting up 13 points is diabolical. Like if your defense holds a team to 16 points in the NFL, if your defense holds a team to under 20 points in the NFL, you have to win said game. Especially if we're gonna call you
in this day and age, for sure.
Yeah. If we're gonna call you a continue, what's good, Kobe? What coaches are in the hot seat? We'll get to that, bro. I got you. If you're gonna win in this day and age in the NFL, you have got to put up more than 13 points. If your defense holds a team under 20, you have to win a game. Which is why I think there's a real problem in Green Bay. And if you look at the box, like if you just look at the box, like the box is kind of, it doesn't allude to how bad that offense looked. Bryce Young went out there and had 273 yards. He had an interception. He just didn't have a touchdown. Josh Jacobs was Josh Jacobs. He had 17 carries for 87 yards. That's a good game. Romeo Doubs had 91 yards. Watson had 58, and I believe his first game back. Yeah, yep. Watson had 58 in his first game back. But I really want to see in the coming weeks how good this Green Bay team is without Tucker Kraft. I think that's going to hurt them immensely. That Green Bay team without Tucker Kraft that's a tough spot to be in. That's a really tough spot to be in. But yeah, let's move. Let's answer my boy Mitch's question. Appreciate you, Jay Mitch, for pulling up. Appreciate you for dropping a question. Ty, what coaches are in the hot seat?
Brian Daboll, Kevin Stefanski. I really think he should be in a hot seat.
Okay. 2-time coach of the year.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, for sure. Daboll, Stefanski. You missing the biggest one.
Are we saying Aaron Glenn?
No, Miami.
Oh, for sure. McDaniels, for sure. Mike. Yeah, he's gone. I feel like that's a no-brainer, but not for sure. 3, because he ain't far out yet. For sure, I take them 3. I go Daniels 1. I go Stefanski 2, and then Daboll 3. But I do have a little bias.
I don't think Aaron Glenn got his job saved by the trade. I think Aaron Glenn's job was saved because I think Aaron Glenn's job is just getting started actually by the trade.
Fair.
Yeah, fair. Like I don't think it was saved by the trade. I think it's just getting started. If you are a defensive minded coach in Aaron Glenn and you gave up your 2 best defenders, That means your job is just getting started. That means you are now finally getting around to what it is that you want to do. And if you are willing to give up those two guys, and I understand the haul that you got in return for them, and now you have, what is it, 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years, or is it this year? I'm not even sure. It might be the next 2 years or something. But you got 5 first-round picks. Your job is just getting started. You are just now getting to what you actually want to do.
I don't think they make those trades if his job was in jeopardy, because I don't think you'll gut your defense if you planned on bringing in another coach after the season was over. So I think in terms of that, I think his job was safe. I do think also I don't like firing coaches in the first year, because that's a tough task to ask them to come in and be like very successful. And like we all know, the Jets was a very bad situation.
Yeah, that's poverty.
So
that's a poverty franchise
for sure. But we're gonna see. Next year they can't start 0-7 or whatever it was next year. We're gonna have a totally different conversation then. But for sure, he cool this year.
I have pushback. I don't think the Daboll is on the hot seat. I think he was, but I think that he made this bad Giants team fun to watch, one, and look like formidable opponents too. Which means if you are Brian Daboll, you have real argument. I remember when I was working for the Falcons a couple years ago. Arthur Smith told me something very interesting. Remember when they drafted Desmond Ridder and everybody was like, he's actually kind of bad. Like, he's kind of bad. Like, he just looked very good in Cincinnati. I was told by the team and Arthur Smith at the time that the reason sometimes that you draft a quarterback and you play a rookie quarterback is because it restarts your time clock as a coach. Now, at the time, I had never thought about it, and it makes total sense. Brian Daboll, when he put Jackson Dart in, and they looked like formidable opponents, and they looked like a fun team to watch with him and Scat, and before Malik Neighbors got hurt, they looked like real players. I think right then was the moment that he restarted his clock, because that team was actually a decent team to watch. Now, Scat's hurt, Malik Neighbors is hurt, and really what you're hoping is that Jackson Dart just stays healthy for the rest of the year and that you don't have a season-ending injury with him. Because if you can prove, and Jackson Dart believes that he's a good coach, then his job might be safe. So I don't want to say he's not on the hot seat, but I do want to say that I think I wouldn't be surprised if he got one more year.
I'll say that. I don't disagree. I think it's very possible for him to stick around for another year because of Dart. And like you say, how they look with him playing quarterback. So I don't disagree. I just think, like you say, it's Clark restart. But like I said, I don't think it goes longer than a year. They can't be 4, 5, 6 games under 500. Like, then it's like, all right, like, it's cool. We found a quarterback. Shit, now we got to find a coach, because apparently you ain't it. But we gonna see. Like, you start
the season 2-7 again. You start the season 2-7 again next year. You're fired before the bye week. But I do think I wouldn't be. I don't think he will get another year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got another year. I wouldn't be surprised. Stefanski. Speaking of restarting clocks, can Stefanski, if he starts Shedeur, can he save his job?
The only way his job saves if the GM and them already had an agreement that whatever this year was what it was. In good faith, I can't watch Joe Flacco go to Cincinnati and does what he does out there after you told me, you know what I'm saying? Joe Flacco all of a sudden ain't the issue. We watching Joe Flacco. He can't be the issue. I done seen enough of Dylan Gabriel to know he's not a starting quarterback. I ain't got to watch no more to know he's a career backup. That's not a problem.
I will tell you what's most interesting, what I think is most interesting in Cleveland right now is that Dillon Gabriel has played the last 6 games, and Joe Flacco still leads the team in passing yards.
That should tell you everything you need to know. And I done watched him. He doesn't, like I say, if you're looking for a game manager, if they had a good system around them, good offensive line, great weapons, good run game, a great scheme, he could be your guy. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to be smart with it. He's just not going to make no plays that you need your quarterbacks to make. We're not gonna expect him to do something off schedule, run around, make some shake, throw it down the field. That's not Dillon Gabriel. But you can get him to play on time, keep it short and simple. Maybe get him a little intermediate ball here and there. He's your guy. But if you're looking for the quarterback, and that's what the Browns are looking for, we know that's not it. And the problem becomes you traded Flacco to play him. Flacco looked great. He don't. Gabriel doesn't. So how do we justify? I mean, you can say we were terrible anyway, blah, blah, blah. The young guy, since you drafted him in the 3rd round, he needs to play. Cool. You also drafted somebody in the 5th round. Gabriel don't play 6 games. You either got it or you don't.
Yeah, he didn't play 6 games, yeah.
It's time to see what the 5th round pick looks like, because you're probably going to be picking high again. And you need to find out if one of those quarterbacks are your guy. My whole problem is the way this quarterback situation has been handled from the jump makes me look at Stefanski and say, what are we doing? And I think that's the number one problem.
But I don't think it's Stefanski, though. I don't think it's him. I think the handling of Shedeur is from the top down.
For sure. But I'm saying I don't think they're dictating him to start Flacco and then trade him. Maybe that wasn't his decision. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't have no hand in Flacco getting traded. Maybe he wanted Flacco. The people upstairs said, "Nah, we done. Time to play the young boy," and he had no say in it. If that's the case, I'll you know what I'm saying, I'll chill, because it's like you're not really controlling anything. You just a puppet at this point. However, if he does have a hand in Flacco getting gone and Gabriel playing, now I have to look at you, because it's like, why? And it's how many games do I need to watch him play to know, like, he either not a starting quarterback or he's just not ready yet? And if it's either of the case, that's cool. Play the other one. And if Shedeur actually looks good, I think everybody shuts up. I think everybody be quiet. No matter how bad they look, if Shedeur plays, he looks like an NFL quarterback, they say, you know what? It was all worth it. You probably have a guy, depending on what you decide to do with Deshaun Watson, but I've been said I would cut him and take the dead money. Listen, but depending on what you want to do with Watson, like you say, if Shedeur look good, maybe you get another clock. But it's like, how many years of bad football can I watch before I say you're not the coach? You might be a good OC, DC, whatever he was before. I think it's OC. How Arlovsky was talking about offensive minds and stuff like that. But some people aren't meant to be coaches, and that is okay. Sometimes you got to know what your lane is, and his lane just may not be head coach, and that's cool. That's cool. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, my boy Paul said Gabriel and Shedeur are nowhere near better than Baker, who actually got them to the playoffs. I'm still of the stance that the way that Cleveland handled Baker is the worst mismanagement of a good quarterback in recent memory. I know a lot of people will probably go with Sam Darnold and the Jets now because of how Sam Darnold looks, but I think I think what happened with Baker in Cleveland was a total mismanagement, and it's the worst we've seen in recent memory. Yeah, that's all bad. It's all bad around there. I think it's time to move, my boy. I think we're done with the NFL. Let's move to this NBA, man. Let's move to this NBA. Your team is not very good. Your team is not very good. What do you think y'all should be doing. I know you're not an advocate of tanking, but you know what's the word in Boston?
You do exactly what they're doing. I mean, at the end of the day, if they can't make the playoffs with the roster they got, they're just not gonna make the playoffs. I don't think Brad's tripping. Your best player is out. Like, it is what it is. And he's gauging to see who I can move and who I shouldn't move. And at the end of the day, a lot of them that don't know it is playing for a spot on the team next year. Yeah. That's just what it is. So at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it. I didn't have them. Obviously, like with Tatum out, I knew, and them trading Porzingis, Holiday, losing Cornette, and all that stuff. Like, it's a whole different team. So they're going to need time to learn and gel, but they weren't going to be like this amazing basketball team. They're going to have their faults. I already know what it is. Like, it's cool. I'm chilling. They're going to be competitive. They're going to win some games here. They're going to lose some games there. Might sneak into the play-in. But I'm sure a lot of Celtics fans, especially looking at the talent around college basketball right now,
would rather them just lose.
Rather lose and get into the lottery. Hopefully we can sneak in a top 5 pick and get one of those studs. Never know what happens though. I can't say nothing. After I watched Dallas get the number 1 pick last year, who knows if Adam call out the phone like, we got to play for you. And I'm going to be like, that's my boy right there. I don't like you having all these games on all these different platforms. Get a Celtics number 1 pick though. I'll let it all slide. But we see. I'm chilling. Like, I just want to see Jaylen Brown prove that he can be a number 1 option. And if he can do that, my season cool. He get a lot of disrespect. So I need him to kind of end it right now.
He get a lot of disrespect. I don't think he gets a lot of disrespect. I think, do we not just remember people were saying he was better than Jay Tate in the finals?
They were saying that. I mean, speaking of both sides, they both get a lot of disrespect.
Speaking of my dog Jay Tate, though, and in alignment with y'all's season, I think an interesting topic that has started to surface after everybody seeing Jason Tatum dunk the other day, like a week or two ago, was he seems to be recovering very, very fast. With the way that y'all season is going, if Jay Tate was to play at the end of the season, how upset would you be?
If they're in the playoffs or in the playoff push, I wouldn't be too mad. Like, they're already took themselves out of potential lottery-ish stuff somehow. I wouldn't be too mad because at that point you ain't gonna be able to keep them off the court.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but if we're 30 and 50 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have 10, 15, 20 games under 500. I would feel some kind of way. Sit down, my boy. Just go in the gym, keep lifting, get them shots up, come back next year on an MVP mission. But we're gonna see what happens. Like I said, if there's a chance the Celtics reckon close enough or they're potentially pushing for the playoffs, he's gonna get on the court. I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep him off the court. So It is what it is. Some players want to play. He one of those. Like, he want to play. So if he can, he'll be out there.
All right. Another situation to monitor. Another situation to monitor right now out in Memphis, the Ja Morant situation. Ja just told reporters a couple of days ago, probably about 3 or 4 days ago now, that he didn't feel the same joy that he's usually or always felt while playing basketball. Is Ja's time in Memphis done?
I think it's becoming more likely. One thing about it, I think them trading Desmond Bane was a bad move for their team. Like, I don't think it's just certain players you can't move. I feel like Desmond Bane for them is one of them. And obviously, I heard people have been talking about Dylan Brooks leaving the team and how him leaving kind of changed their identity. They don't really have a dog. They don't have nobody that's trying to get for lack of a better word, nasty on the court. Like they ain't nobody trying to start nothing. Ain't nobody getting in people's face, being, you know what I'm saying, nagging people. They don't got that no more. But I think it's a lot. You know, Ja being hurt in and out the lineup, dealing with all the stuff off the court, and how people still hold him against them, whether that's right or not. But you know, it's how it go. Then I just think them being with a new coach, since they fired Jenkins, and I don't know if Ja probably agreed with that.
I don't think so.
So now we're here, and I was seeing that on Twitter that the Grizzly coach has them playing in smaller spurts.
Yeah. And
they were saying they don't think Ja likes that. He want to play longer so he can get more into a rhythm. And that could be a real reason. If that's messing up his rhythm, I can see why he probably feels the way he's feeling right now. But if things don't improve soon, and if they're struggling by the trade deadline, he's getting moved. But it's just who is gonna take him. I think he'll have more suitors than people think. A lot of people don't think he'll have any interest because of the stuff going on with him. And I mean, like, I guess that's fair, but you can't change what you saw from Ja when he was healthy and he first got into the league. Like, that player's still there. Somebody's going to take that risk. It's probably going to depend on who, but I do think as the days roll on, Ja time in Memphis is coming to an end, and that might be best for both parties at this point.
Yeah. No, I hate it. I hate it because I always thought that Ja was going to be another one of those guys that was able to play in Memphis his whole career, or like, you know, we've got Jokic who's playing his whole career in one spot. We've got Giannis. We was kind of getting back to that point. And I thought Ja would kind of have much of the same, but it looks like the luck is running out over there. It looks like the luck is running out. I'm not sure if the front office is just as fed up with Ja as Ja is with the front office. But I do think that Ja will have a lot of suitors come trade deadline if this thing doesn't get turned around. And I think so because as much trouble as he's gotten in, there's no question Ja Morant is undeniably box office. He's box office.
Definitely.
I could see teams like Sacramento picking him up. I could see a lot of tier 2-ish teams. And my boy actually told it to me first. My boy John. I hadn't even thought about it. But there are a lot of tier 2-ish teams that would sacrifice a lot to get a player like Ja Morant. And it's because if you are a tier 2 team, a smaller market team, box office is good no matter what shape or form it comes in. And if it's Ja Morant,
I make that money. Always a business.
You know what I'm saying? Business is business. It's strictly financial. No matter who it is, you have to account for the players that you're putting on the court and the product that you're putting on the court each night. And Ja Morant is a great product, no matter the circumstance. Now, for that same reason, I'm not sure if Memphis would be willing to move him, and they probably have a right price that you would have to move him for. And I don't know who would be willing to necessarily pay that price. I think that's where the problem will come in. Because a lot of those smaller market-ish teams may not be willing to pay that price. But I do believe he'll have suitors at the deadline. I do believe he can get moved, and I do believe his time and his days, like you said, are slowly but surely dwindling in Memphis. We are 55 minutes in. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us. Everybody that's here, YouTube chat, Instagram, all of that. Appreciate everybody, man. Share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Drop a comment, drop a question if you have one. Let's move before we end it off. You know I got to do it, right? I told you y'all was gonna fold. I told you y'all was gonna fold, bro. And I told you, not only did I tell you that y'all was gonna fold, I even gave you a list of teams that I thought y'all might fold to. I said SMU, I said NC State, I said Tech, and I believe I said Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh is now number 24 in the nation. Nonetheless, I told you y'all was gonna fold. You said y'all won't go forward though. You said that y'all got y'all loss, y'all got it out the way. You said y'all boy had gotten his interceptions out of his system.
No. I mean, I said
you said you thought it was good.
In a good world, but I did say they could possibly lose that game, and they did. And again, Carson Beck goes into the press conference and start coughing, please. Ain't nobody throwing these picks with you. You ain't just the problem. For some odd reason, Miami in November is the worst team to ever exist. They just can't win when November comes around. And I don't know why. Happened last year. Happened again this year. You don't get out your own way. And what am I to say now? I have nothing to say. At the end of the day, your season was banked on how well Carson Beck played. And the last few weeks, he ain't been that great. And Miami ain't been that great. It's the bottom line. And Cristobal is going to have to hold that. That's the quarterback you decided to go out. And I mean, on paper, hypothetically, probably wasn't a terrible option. But I know you paying him a pretty penny in NIL. To do what? Lose?
To fold.
Lose?
Exactly what I told you y'all was going to do. I told you y'all was going to fold, man. Why didn't you believe me? I'm your boy. I tried to help you because I
be trying to have faith, you know? I be trying to have faith.
But I just wanted you to be prepared for what was bound to happen.
Oh, when I checked the score, I was watching somebody else's game. They were like, "Oh, Miami's on upset watch." I was about to go to work too. I checked the score.
You got that ESPN notification. Upset watch. Upset alert.
I seen they were up 3.5. I said, "Yeah, they're probably about to lose." Check back later. They lost, and they didn't lose in a good way. Penalties. Like I say, you can't stay out your own way. That's what make it worse. If you lose, knowing the other team's better than you, it's one thing. Knowing you're the better team and you lose, it's a completely different story. And then it all becomes subjective. Because are you the better team? Because you lost. So who really knows? But oh well, I'm done with Miami. They're 8-9 weeks of my life, of them in my life, is over. I'll talk to them again next year. It's a real struggle right now.
We got spots on the bandwagon if you want to come up north.
Nah.
You sure?
Ain't a bandwagon. I'm a Commanders fan. We on bandwagon. We just take what time. We just take everything that coming.
You just take it on the chin.
And keep pushing, just like a video. They gonna ask you gonna ask me to stop being a Commanders fan? What? You gonna ask me to stop being a Miami fan? What? I don't know. Maybe it's something about this toxic relationship that I like, because it ain't been a good one for me.
All right. Another ACC upset this week. Tech got upset by NC State. What did you see? What do you think? Was Tech fraud all along, or will they be all right?
I think they'd be all right. Everybody can't, you know what I'm saying, be like being a top, 12, 10 team in the nation. Like, that's 12 out of a whole bunch of programs. Finishing 15, 18, 20, Tech, especially Tech now. Georgia, I mean, it's cool. I mean, obviously, everybody wants to get to the playoffs. Everybody can't make it, though. They still might have a chance, but It is what it is. I think this season in general has been A+ from the start. Like, I think they have exceeded all expectations. So obviously they're gonna be mad that they lost, but when it's all said and done, I think they look back and like, dang, we just had a really good football team. So it's all good. Well, for me at least, but not for them.
Yeah, no, definitely not for them. Hey, listen, is Utah beat number 17 Cincinnati 45-14. Is Utah better than people think?
I think so, but it's just never really know what you can get out of them. Like, they can be what you just saw, and then they can come and not show up and live up to expectations. So it's just finding a balance. But again, they'll be one of those teams that's going to finish in the rankings, probably close to the playoffs. They might get in long as they don't lose again, but you never really know with Utah. But like I said, I do think it was a good football team. I thought they were a good football team at the beginning of the year. It's just, can I rely on you every Saturday?
No.
And for the most part, it's been like, yeah, but then in some weeks be like, not at all. So again, consistency is what everybody be looking for. And like, some teams got it, some teams don't. I think they're still searching for theirs.
Another interesting one. I, at the beginning of the season, said that Dabo had a job as long as Dabo wanted to coach football. They just went out and lost 46-45, I believe it was, to Duke. Is Dabo on the hot seat, or does he still have a job as long as he wants one?
I don't know. If he wanted to be in Clemson, they probably keep him there. He's probably earned the right. If we're talking the best of the program, Dabo, I thank you for everything you have done for us over these 15, 20 years. I think it's best that we separate and part ways. Like I said, I don't think what Dabo wants to do, it's not sustainable to be like a top program. If he want to go to a lower level school and continue to like develop his players, won't nobody complain. We don't really have any expectations. Whether y'all good or not, it's like, okay, if y'all a good team, we know that you work for that. Y'all a bad team, we know it's still your fault. But you still gonna have a job. But I think at Clemson now, there's a standard that needs to be held. And they're so far from that standard now. And the only person you can blame for that is Dabo. So the main question is going to be, does the AD and the boosters have enough heart to tell Dabo that either get with the program or get left? And I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I don't know how they keep Dabo around much longer. I think Dabo is the last of a dying breed, kind of how you just explained. He's from that earlier day of college football, that brown paper bag day of college football, where you just handed a couple thousand under the table and it was cool and players took that. It's not like that no more. You got to hand a couple million over the table now. And
so I don't that top talent.
Yeah. I don't think that is something that Dabo is interested in. And I think it's showing, right? Now, here's where I think the real problem is. The real problem is that on paper, this past season, coming into the season, Dabo returned 98% of his starting production this year. And it has amounted to absolutely nothing. Cade Klubnik was supposed to be
Heisman hopeful and all that.
All of that. And I think that this has become deeper than Dabo's style of coaching, because now we've gotten to a point where it's like, all right, you kind of had what you wanted to do. You wanted to develop your players. You wanted to bring them back. You brought all of them back and you developed them. These are your guys. This is not like these aren't your guys. These are your guys. And you've done nothing with them. I think that's a real problem. I think and I want to say that when I said that I thought Dabo had a job for as long as he wanted one, I said that before we watched what's your boy in Penn State, I said that before we watched him
James
get
Franklin.
fired. Yep, I said that before we watched James Franklin get fired. I said that before we watched what's your boy in LSU? Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I said that before I watched him get fired. I said that before I watched a lot of coaches that I thought had jobs as long as they wanted them get fired.
Everybody want to be champions. Everybody want to win a championship, but LSU firing Brian Kelly, I get. I also understand why Penn State fired James Franklin. I've been saying he should get fired. What I'll say about Penn State before Drew had got hurt, they probably would have lost 1 or 2 games in total. If he don't really, I think he tore his ACL. If you don't have that injury, I think it's a different story. I'm not saying they still didn't deserve to get fired. You used to UCLA after they were whatever they were. That's grounds for termination. You can't be mad at that. But I was saying because way before that, Penn State was always good. But when it's time to be great, they were never going to get there. And that's why I thought he should be fired. But I feel like when you win 9, 10, 11 games of the year, that is crazy success. And I get it though. Everybody want to be champions. Everybody can't be champions. So where do we find that line? Do we search for a coach till we find some champions? Because it does it come down to, is it really the coach or is it really the players we can get with the money we have in today's league?
Yeah. I think it's a real question because you go out there and no disrespect to Trevor Pena, but if you're going out there and you're paying Trevor Pena top dollar, that should show you the type of situation and the type of player that you are attracting. And it's no disrespect to Trevor Pena. He's a fairly good football player. He was a 1 at Syracuse, but things look different when you get to Penn State. It's different. It's a different animal. It's a different ball game up there.
I also don't think if I was a wide receiver, I wouldn't commit to Penn State.
No,
I don't know what they saw from Penn State receivers when they watch them, but that's not a system. If I'm trying to get to the league, that I'd be wanting to play in. But that's just my personal opinion.
For sure. Let's talk about our boy, man, before we get out of here. Everybody still left here watching. We appreciate you live on 2 Instagram pages and YouTube. I appreciate everybody watching, man. Share, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Share, like, comment, subscribe, all of those good things. Before we get out of here, let's talk about our boy. Let's talk about what's going on at home. What's up with Syracuse, man?
Your boy got hurt.
Quarterback, yeah.
Angeli.
Yeah.
Once he went down, the season was cooked. No disrespect. Angeli was a late transfer and he won the job. I felt like that should kind of tell you everything we needed to know about the quarterback situation. We never know what Ricky Collins could offer. We never really saw him play. But I think when somebody comes in with the late jump and they win the job, he was either way better than you or you just weren't that good. And I think both can be true in this case. And
I have different perspective. I don't think that Ricky was ever that good. I don't think it was ever his job. I think it was his job. And I think as the spring wore on, I think that Fran Brown knew that Ricky Collins wasn't the guy, which is why you went and got Angeli.
For sure.
I think as soon as Angeli got there, I think that the quarterback situation that we were force fed in the summer, that it was a real battle and that both guys were
a bunch of coach talk.
Yeah. I think that was a bunch of coach talk. I think that what happened is Fran Brown told everybody that Ricky Collins was the guy and was the starter. And I think that he knew, yeah, bro, I should go and get me one. I need to go and get me one. And when he went and got Angeli, I think he knew from jump that Angeli was going to be his guy. Because the difference in the two players is night and day. It's night and day. I don't think there was ever a real battle. I think Fran Brown just couldn't walk back what he had told us. And I think this goes back to the spring game. Remember Ricky Collins didn't play in the spring game? And
True.
we was talking about it was a foot or an ankle or a hand or whatever it was. I don't know that was all the way true. Because remember how Fran Brown was talking with so much conviction. No, that's our guy. We just got to protect him. We don't want him to get hurt. We don't want nothing bad to happen to him. I think he didn't want to put it out there. I think he didn't want to put it out there how bad Ricky Collins might have actually been. I don't think he was ever the guy.
I'll also say this. I think Angeli is closer to what their system wants.
For sure.
I don't think Collins fits the system. And I think once Angeli went down, they should have tried to. I guess it depends on perspective on that. Do you change your system to fit your quarterback, or do you get your quarterback to fit the system? Is the system one size fit all? No matter who you are, you should be able to step in and play the system the way it's supposed to be played. Or do we have to cater our system to whatever abilities our quarterback got? I don't think they've done a good job with that with Ricky Collins. I also think Fran Brown was right after Ricky, you know what I'm saying, didn't have a good outing in his first 3 starts or whatever, and people wanted to see somebody else. And he was basically saying, Ricky's the best we got. He is. And at that point, I felt like people need to come back down to earth. I understand that last year was great, but they had a very experienced team and they had health on their side for a lot of the people they needed. This year is the complete opposite. The one player you can't afford to get hurt is the quarterback. And he got hurt. It changed the whole season. And now they've been trying to play whatever they playing now, and it's just not working. So it's tough, but I think anybody that feel like Fran, you know how some people over exaggerate Fran, don't know what he's doing.
Fran need to get out of here. That's nasty. It's nasty.
I'm saying, let's relax. Fran is the guy for the job. And you can see why these high school 4 or 5-star recruits are coming to Syracuse. Syracuse ain't had that kind of motion before Fran got the job. Let's be honest. That motion won't like that. So that should tell you about Fran and what the players believe that they can do for him or what he can do for the players. Regardless, I think they'll be all right. Angeli, I'll get healthy next year. I do think they'll try and find a real backup quarterback, whether it's one of those players already in the locker room or somebody in the portal. He'll do better next year to make sure whoever that number 2 is going to be ready to be number 1 at any given second.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We got to an hour and 13 minutes, man. I appreciate everybody for rocking with us tonight. Again, man, I can't say it enough. I can't express it enough. Thank y'all for rocking with us. But please tell a friend to tell a friend. Share it. Share. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff.
Follow, do all of that. Lock in with us.
Man, TikTok, Instagram, all of it. GRG Pod on Instagram. TikTok, Huddle with the Stars. TikTok, Commander Circle. You know what I'm saying? Rock with us on the personal pages. Ty Sansbury, Kobe Scales Media, all that good stuff, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us tonight. We out.